Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kylie and I primarily sew. However, I just got into knitting, so today I'm actually going to do a little yarn and fabric crawl throughout some shops in Philly. It's not an actual official crawl, like I just decided to do this, but I have some projects that I would really like to start, and I do have a little bit of yarn, but it's thrifted yarn. It's not a lot of yarn and it's like winter yarn, and I want some summer yarn. I really would like to make a bandana, kind of like this one. I'm really into bandanas in the summer. So I've landed on the holly bandana pattern. That one I know for sure I'm going to do. So I need some yarn for that. And then I'm also really interested in some type of like poncho or little tank top. So the goal is to get some fingering weight is what I've learned, yarn, and I also just have to stop at some of the fabric stores too. I mean, how can I not? So we're gonna get going. I'm also going to bring my knitting project with us, although it's very hot. I don't know if I will sit outside and knit because it is literally going to be like over 90 degrees today. And I'm also going to be bringing my camera along, which I'm so nervous about, but I'm telling myself I have to do it. Usually when I'm out and about, I just film on my phone because I get so self-conscious about having a camera out. But I have literally no storage on my phone. That was the whole purpose of why I got a camera. This was my birthday present. So I need to just put on my big girl pants and use my camera out and about because that's why I got it. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I am determined. I'm determined to try to get some good footage while we're out at some stores. So come on with me, let's go. I just got to our first location and I think that 3 of them are all in like walking distance, so that's perfect. I can leave the car here and walk, and then I think the last location I will get back in the car and drive to. But I got premium parking right outside the front of the first store I'm going into, so that was great. And I have to check if there's a kiosk. I think that this is 2-hour free parking, so that would be excellent. So let's head in. The first location was called Needles and Bolts. I don't know why I thought this had yarn too, but they were actually just a quilt shop and they had so much stuff. They had really cute things too that I hadn't seen, like these teeny little packs to make a little project. They also had a jeans making course going on while I was there, so that was cool to step in and see that they were teaching people how to make garments. And then this was something I've never seen. It was like when you go to a bookstore and they do mystery books, but these were mystery quilts. So they had everything, almost everything in this little pack, and you just didn't know what quilt you were doing. I thought that was really cool, and I will definitely consider getting one of those eventually. I then walked to the next location, which was Cut and Sew, and at Cut and Sew they have both new fabric and pre-loved and pre-owned fabric and notions, so that was super cool. They also offered a variety of classes here. They had kids classes, quilting classes, and long arming classes, and they also offer long arming services if you need your quilt long armed. I just finished up at the first 2 places. Also, sorry for the traffic noise, but I'm heading to the next 2, which are both the yarn stores. Hindsight, I probably should have started with the yarn stores because I spent a good amount of my budget already on fabric and things, which genuinely I don't need more fabric, but also I do need more fabric, unfortunately. So we are headed to, oh, I'm forgetting the name of it. I'll put it on the screen. And then I have one more after that. And that is our little quilt shop and yarn shop afternoon. My first yarn shop was Kelborne Woolens, and I really loved it in here. They had such an extensive variety of yarn. They also had a really large warehouse, so there was even more yarns in the back. The person working here was so nice and so knowledgeable and really helped me pick out the perfect yarn for the holly bandana that I'm making. I just finished up in my first yarn store and oh, so cool. Like, I just don't know anything about yarn, so it was so nice to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about and led me in the right direction. Sorry if I'm out of breath. I'm now walking up the massive hill that I walked down. The other yarn store was a 17-minute walk from the store that I was just in. And while I would normally love to walk that, oh my God, I'm really out of breath. I shouldn't have started filming this. While I would normally love to do like a little 17-minute walk, it's one, excruciatingly hot outside today, and two, I have about 30 minutes on my parking, so I don't think that gives me enough time to get there, to get back, and also shop. So I am going to go get my car, drive to the last spot, and then when I'm all done, I will give you guys a haul of everything I got. And also, I will definitely be putting on the screen and in the description box all of the names and locations of the stores that I'm in. Unfortunately, I did not film anything inside my final stop. Just finished up in there. Also, sorry if you hear the air conditioning. It is quite literally like 95 degrees right now, so I need it blasting in my face. But they were unsure about filming in there. I've asked every shop before I've gone in if I could film, and she was like, I'm not really sure, I have to ask. So no worries, I did not film in there, but it was really a very nice selection. So I'm going to head home and I'll show you guys everything I ended up getting. It is actually the next day because I had plans with my daughter when I got back from shopping yesterday. So let me show you everything that I got. Here's the stack, so let me get into it. So the first place I went to was Needles and Bolts, and I don't know why I thought that that was a knitting shop, but it's actually just a quilt shop, which was equally as important to me. So I got just a couple things there. I got this fat quarter that is like pastries, bread, pretzels. How cute is this? I'm literally obsessed. I haven't seen a fabric like this, and they had like a whole collection with like the pastries and the bread, and I've really been meaning to make a bread bag because I make, especially in the winter, I make a lot of bread for soups. So I've been wanting to make a bread bag. So how cute to make a bread bag out of the little like pastry, bread, pretzel fabric. That's a fat quarter, by the way. And then I also got a fat quarter of this Fabulism fabric. It was the only one they had there, but they did say that they're getting a new shipment of all of the Fabulism stuff, like I think maybe their newest collection. But it's just this really cool multicolor stripe, and it feels like linen. Like it is really, really nice. It does not feel like a quilting cotton. Like this one definitely is just a quilting cotton. This one I feel like I could actually make something with. And so this is also a fat quarter. I actually think this might be a little more than a fat quarter, but I am going to make something for my daughter with this. Probably some type of clothing, like maybe a pair of little shorts, or she's really missing tank tops in her wardrobe this summer. So maybe I'll make like a cute little tank top out of this. And then lastly, at the checkout, they had some vintage buttons, and I have a decent vintage button collection. I have it up here. Here, I'll take it down for a second. In this little ceramic dish above my sewing machine, I keep the bias tape that I've thrifted, which is very much not organized right now. But I also keep all of my vintage buttons that I thrift, and I have some pretty cool ones. So whenever I find more, I love to add to my collection. And these ones were just really cool. They're like iridescent, and also, I don't know if you can see, but there's like teeny little like speckles in them, like little red speckles. So I got that too. So this is what I got from Needles and Bolts. They have awesome classes there. So there were some women learning to make jeans there, and so they run clothing, like garment classes, and they also do quilt classes, and they also do a quilt of the month, like quilt block of the month, and then at the end of the year you have a whole quilt. There was this absolutely stunning quilt, and that's the one they're doing right now for the quilt block of the month. When that pattern is released, I might be doing it because it was absolutely stunning. I would have taken a video, but it was in the same room that the women were doing classes, and I didn't want to, like, you know, get all up in their space, but it was absolutely stunning. If I can find a picture on their website, I'll put it up. But yeah, so their quilt of the month the quilt block of the month is like they send you the block plus all of the fabric, and then at the end you have the finished quilt, which is so cool. And I was obsessed with that quilt. Like, I genuinely have never been so like, I need to do that quilt, than when I saw that quilt. It was the colors, the pattern, it was so cool. They had such a great selection, and I will definitely be back there the next time I'm starting a quilt, which I will not be starting a quilt anytime soon because I still have to finish my daughter's quilt. I'm hoping to finish it by this summer. They also offer long arming services, I believe, so something to note for later. The next place that I went to was Cut and Sew, and this one has been highly recommended to me from a friend of mine who's also local to Philly. She goes there a lot, and so they have a huge selection of some pre-loved, you know, like secondhand fabrics, books, notions, etc. And then they also have brand new stuff, and they offer also classes for long arm, classes for sewing, classes for kids. It was a really cool place, and I will definitely be back. So the first thing I picked up there were some quilting books, which have been on my list to thrift. So this first one I got, this was $1. Like, such a steal for this whole book, but I got it specifically because my husband's best friend is about to have a baby boy, and they live in Seattle and do a lot of like outdoorsy things and hiking and things, and I just thought that this was so like Pacific Northwest and just like outdoorsy. Everything I could think to like make for them was like in this book, and it was also only $1, which is so cool. So yeah, like here's the full like everything in it, but there's just some really cute little like wall hangings and stuff like that, and so I really would like to make them something. Like, look at the trees with the little beaver, it's so cute. So for $1, it was absolutely perfect. I think I want to make them a wall hanging. The one that really is speaking to me right now is this little fisherman. It's so cute. So this was such a good find for them to make them a baby gift for when their baby is born. And then I also got this one. This is Mini Quilts from Traditional Designs, and I really just want to get more into quilting. I've just kind of dipped my toe in, but there were some really, really pretty quilts in here, and a lot of it was really nice like applique. And again, I really just want to like kind of step up my game where some of these are concerned, like quilting, applique, all that. Like, how cool is this? This one's very modern. I don't know if I would do something quite like that, but I just thought that there were some really cool designs in here. Yeah, like this one is so cool, the colors and everything. So I just like having like kind of like a reference book, you know, and maybe I don't always do every single one in here, but it's just a nice thing to have for reference. Like, I love these little potted flowers. So it's like, I don't even have to make the whole quilt, but maybe I do kind of like an applique on something else, but I use this quilt block as a reference. I also loved this one with the little shamrocks. So cute. So I just wanted that as a reference. I've been wanting to have more quilting books in my collection, so this was a nice one. These were all secondhand, by the way. And then this one was just so pretty. So this is all like flower applique. So yeah, it says, "Sew a whole garden of blooming applique blocks." And then here's some like examples here. And I don't know if I will sew a quilt with any of these applique, but I did think this is perfect for like kids' clothes. Like, I could do like some of these blocks on like clothes of my daughters, like the butterfly, the ladybug, it's just so cute. And I definitely could picture my daughter wearing like little pants with like applique on the bottom, or like a dress with like some applique all over it. So I thought this would be a good reference for that. And then I did get some fat quarters there, and these are pre-loved, so secondhand, and they were $1 each, which is a steal. So I got 2 of these gingham because one, they had 2, so I picked them both up. But I just was thinking of like a cute little matching set for my daughter of like a little tank top and like little like bloomers. I thought that would be so cute. So these are for her. And then I also got this one because, again, like I said, she's missing tank tops. Like, I went to go, you know, look for summer clothes in her closet, and she has a million t-shirts and not a lot of tank tops, and it has gotten really, really hot here. So I think that tank tops are on my list to make for her, and I thought this was a really cute pattern with like the teeny little flowers, and it's like a navy blue. So cute. And then I did get a big cut of fabric, this like cherry light blue. As soon as I saw it, I was like, matching set? It's a matching set. It has to be. I think this is 2 yards, and I think that it was like $2 or $3. It was really, really cheap, and it was a lot of fabric. And it definitely feels like a linen cotton. I don't think it's fully a quilting cotton. It definitely has like a linen feel to it. So this will be a matching set also for my daughter. If you couldn't tell the theme, I've got a lot of things in mind for my daughter. Then I headed to the yarn shops. So the first one I went to was Kelborne Woolens, Kelborne Woolens, yes. And so I'm looking for yarn for the holly bandana. That's my plan for summer knitting. And I got this really awesome butter yellow. Alba is the name. Here, oh. Let me get it to focus a little bit. Hello. There we go. This is the brand of the yarn. I think this is technically a sport weight, which is what she told me, and I needed a fingering weight, but essentially they're like the same. Like it's so thin. And this is 100% cotton, and yeah, I was looking for like cotton, linen, because I'm going to be wearing it as a headscarf. So yeah, like it's a bandana pattern. I wanted something really breathable because I get so hot in the summer, and I just loved this color, this like butter yellow. I was actually wearing yellow yesterday, so when I picked it up, it was funny. I was wearing like the exact same color, but my thought process was I need to get something that I will actually wear. So like this, I felt matches like my main color palettes, which is like yellow, blue, green. Like this would look good with all of those things. So landed on this pattern, this yarn. And then lastly, I went to Wild Hand, and I ended up picking up this. I believe this is also 100% cotton. 100% cotton, and I just thought it was so cool how it changes color. Like I thought that that would come out so good in a bandana. It is unfortunate that I probably only needed half of this for the bandana, but that just means that I can either make 2 bandanas, I can maybe make one for my daughter. I say this as if I know how to change a pattern. I don't, but I'll just ask my friends who knit to help me. Or I could maybe find another project that only needs about like 200 and something yards of yarn. But yeah, so that was my haul. I will say I am very intimidated by yarn shops at the moment because I just don't know enough yet. Luckily, all of the workers were super helpful and super nice, which was so great. But like, I just do not understand like the yardage. Like if I were to go to a fabric store, right? I know how much I can make with a fat quarter. I know how much I can make with a half yard. I know how much I can make with 2 yards, right? Like if I want to make pants, I'm like, okay, I need at least 2 yards. Okay, if I want to make this, I need at least this. Like I know in my head, but meanwhile for knitting, I'm like, okay, if I want to make a poncho, like how much do I need? And it's like, well, it also depends on the pattern. So it's like you almost need to have your pattern picked out before you pick out yarn, which is so new to me because like I feel like with fabric, I can just pick out fabric and I'm like, oh, well, something will work. I don't need to have a pattern in mind. Like sometimes you do, but most of the time you can just pick out X amount of fabric and you know you can make something out of it. So I'm definitely out of my comfort zone shopping for yarn. I will also say yarn is so much more expensive than fabric, at least the fabric that I get, because I couldn't believe some of the sticker prices. And I know you could get yarn secondhand. That's where I actually first got my yarn. But it's luck of the draw, and I did not find any of this weight at the thrift store for yarns. It was mostly like winter, like wool, like acrylic. A lot of it was acrylic, but it was like that thick winter yarn. So I needed light summer yarn. But maybe I'll check them out again. The thrift store I primarily go to if you're in the Philly area is Resource Exchange. And the last time I was there, they had literally mounds of yarn. Like the whole wall was filled with yarn, which was so great. That is everything from this little yarn and fabric crawl. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. comment, subscribe, and all of my other socials are linked down below. So follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you're interested. As always, thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!